Hi, Balaram. Very welcome to this fun and engaging interview where we hope to learn more stories and ask you questions that people have not asked you in the past 50 years of your design experience. Before we start, how are you feeling today?
I'm very fine, Kevin. I mean, it's my honor to get interviewed by you. Tell me.
I think it's more of a full circle for me, from being your student to being sitting next to you and getting the privilege of asking you all these questions. So before we delve deeper, I would like to know where do you come from, like you growing up in a village and being in a farmer's family, how did the spark of design come? I know it's a very large question, but
it's very, it's actually something to be talked about. I myself don't know how I have come to this stage, because I am from a very tiny, inconspicuous village in Andhra Pradesh. It's almost like a tribal hamlet. We have hardly 20 or so houses in the whole village. And this is a farmer's village. And from that kind of unknown small little village, in the village there are no people who have actually gone even up to high school. I was the third person to go to high school.
In that village?
Yeah, in that village. So you can see how grim the situation is. And I was also born in one of my writings I say that worst of the times, why? World War is going on.
Yeah.
When I was born, World War is going on. As it is, my village doesn't have electricity, so there is no lights. But even if you have lights, there is government restriction that because war is going on, lights have to be closed at night, because any time, Vizag is not very far from us, and there is already bombing in Vizag.
Yeah.
So that means you see at what kind of time I was born and what kind of place I was born. This village is so little, only farmers and some washermen and people to help them and all that. That's it. Yeah, it's all full of. It's called Gunna Tota also because in Telugu, Gunna Tota is young trees. So there used to be a lot of mango trees there. Maybe because of that, it's called Gunna Tota also. So that is where I started my life. And to come to this stage, of course, there are so many things we have gone through. And that is the actual story. It's amazing how I have reached this stage. Yeah.
It is, and so inspiring.
Yeah.
So what would have been your first interaction with design, or what would you say was, even before you started designing or studying design, what was the first thing that you came across which you would say is like an application of design, or something that you did?
I don't know a thing about design. And particularly in those days, I was talking about 1950s and 60s. At that time, design is unheard. Even today, people get confused. But at that time, design is not known. And so I have never wanted to be a designer. So in somewhere I said it. I didn't go to design. Design has come to me.
Yeah.
How it came to me, that is the story of my life.
I think you've also mentioned in your book that a lot of things happened in your life not because you took active initiation, but because someone else did, and you happened to be there at the right place at the right time. So what about the school teacher of yours, Madhava Rao? What role did he play, and how did he influence that part of your life, which later...
See, as I said, this village has hardly any literate people. My father and mother are also not literate. And in this village, actually, there's nobody who is bothered about education. Then what happened was, there's one poor Brahmin who has got 5 girl children already, and he has got any big disease, he has got smallpox, he has got hydrocele, he has got elephantitis, he has got he has got another disease, what is this? Leprosy, all kinds of things. He is very short and he is hardly so, but he has a family, big family of 5 girl children, and ultimately he ended up having 8 children. The house has to run, he has to do something. And Brahmins, what can they do? Either they become priests or teachers. He can't be a priest, and he's got so many problems also. So, but he has to survive. So he thought of starting a school, and he came to our village and saw there is nobody who is educated there, so it is a good place to start a school. But nobody is interested in studies, because they said, why do we have to study? We should know how to look after the cows and buffaloes and how to do the farming. Why studies? Why should we know who is Robert Clive and who is some other guy? How does it matter? That is the attitude everybody has. So education is useless. Yeah. But this man has to survive. So he said, no, I have to somehow start a school. So we went to the king. At that time, there is a king there, Bobili. Bobili is a Samsthanam. They call all these small, tiny kingdoms are called Samsthanams. So there is a Bobili Samsthanam. He somehow approached the Maharaja and said, I need some employment, so give me something. So he said, what can I do to you? If you give me a piece of land in this little village, which doesn't have a school at all, and nobody is educated, so I will at least give them some knowledge. So the king is never enthused. He said, how do you, they are not interested in studies, what can you do? But anyway, if you want a piece of land, I will give a piece of land. So he gave him one little piece of land in the village, because all the land belongs to the king, no? All right, you take that and do whatever you want. Just a piece of land. Now this man has to survive, so he came to the village and tried to convince the farmers about education. Nobody was convinced. Yeah. But he said he has to survive. Can you make some hut for the school building? So they all said, okay. They brought some thatch. They brought some bamboos and all that. Finally, one roof is made. That's all our school. And this man, he has to come from Bobli. He is not even staying in that village, because he can't stay in that village. It's so tiny. Every day, cycling, he used to come 4 kilometers from Bobli. His house is in Bobli. He will come. He will come there, and he's a Brahmin. He can't eat at other place. We are all kind of, Brahmins don't eat in any other place, because they feel that it is polluted. If the other castes touch it, you can eat anything which the Brahmin touches, because they are high caste. So this is very much there. So even if I am the farmer's class, if I touch any food, he won't accept it, except water. So that is how the situation is. He used to come every day in the morning, go house to house saying that if they have any young children, send them to my school. They said, why should we send them to school? So he will have to somehow tell them, I will survive, please. And so there used to be some 10, 15 people in the school. That is how the school is. Then what he does is, first the school has to be like a school. So he will use us, you go and collect some cow dung. You mix it in water and first put it so that it's all dusty, na? So that's it. And somebody every day, our duties, 2 boys will do the sweeping every day. 2 boys will collect the cow dung, and the girls will do that cow dung water. And some will put this Alpana or Rangoli kind of thing. So we have learned not really ABCD, but we learned how to use the cow dung water, how to clean the. So this is, later on I felt in retrospect that helped me. Design is all about doing, no? So he taught us long back by default that this is what design is. Probably there is some link in that. So what happened was, this man, that's how we started. But he's not bad. He used to tell whatever, all that he does is, he used to tell stories, or at least he used to get some storybook, because he also has to read himself. He has to get some entertainment. So they used to get some book. And the another duty he gives to the kids is, go get me buttermilk. He has to survive, he has to cook. So the whole day what happens in the school is cleaning the school and help him in cooking. But we can't touch any food material, but we could get the charcoal. He has got a small sigdi, or the small iron stove, no? Coal stove, charcoal stove. We used to get the charcoal, we had to light it, and we had to get some things to put in the this thing and all that. And we have to clean his vessels and all that. So what happened in this is, of course, he told us also alphabets, that is A, I, E and all that. And most of the kids have not even a proper dress. So we go in our half pants. Yeah, that's it. And girls will come in their parkinis or what do you call it?
Skirts and...
Skirts. The skirts. And half of them will come with nosing, running noses and all kinds of things, and houses.
And all age groups also, right? If it's one school and one teacher, you're not going to have classes. You're going to have, everyone's going to be...
he will teach all the classes.
At the same time.
Because next year he has to better the batch. Yeah. He will push this batch anyway. There is no... Everybody is pass to keep the farmers happy. So this is how the teaching has been done. And he will, of course, he will teach us discipline. He will say, if anybody comes with a running nose, I will cut the nose. He will have some kind of funny things like that. And yeah.
Were you guys scared of him?
Of course. We used to call him, we nicknamed him as, you see, in that area, they're all forests, no? Jungles. There are so many tigers used to be. So we named him as the big tiger. Peddapuli. So when he comes, people will say, hush, hush, hey, tiger is coming, we all will go and sit like this. This is how this thing is done. But looking back, I think that is big fun. If it is ABCD, I would have hated it.
Yeah.
But because it is fun, I can go, I can clean, I can, we all can, together we could do things like that. And my biggest satisfaction about that is, that's why whenever I talk to anybody, if I have to tell who is my real teacher, I will say the first person is that Veni Rao. In spite of his, all these things, people don't consider it as education. But it is, in my opinion, it is actually real education. See, alphabet is part of it, but alphabet is not the education. Today what is happening is, people teach you alphabet, but they won't tell you how to go about life.
Yeah.
They won't tell you how to cope, which is very important to survival. And he told us all how to cook, how to clean, how to serve him and all that. And another thing which has greatly kind of attracted me to studies is this. He likes to, after eating, afternoon, he has some old chair he brought it, he would like to rest.
Take a nap.
Take a nap. While taking that nap, I'm supposed to read him a story. There is Chandamama Bala used to come. These are the children magazines. Okay. And from Chandamama is very simple. It's 50 paise or something in those days it used to cost. I'm supposed to read him loud because he He
Dozing off.
can read, but he want to close his eyes and doze off, read stories. I used to enjoy the stories. Whether he enjoys or not, we don't know. But I enjoy stories. So I look forward to every day.
To read the story.
I go to school just to read this story. What is this story today? Every day at least one story. One story is something like 6 to 7 pages. That's enough. By the end of the story, he will be asleep.
And then
He
you
will be
guys
snoring. Then I will quietly put the book and go. Or sometimes I will fan him. There is a hand fan. I have to fan him now, because he is after all Guru. Guru is like God. So I used to do all of it. So that is, I don't know whether it helped me or not, but that is some kind of, made me a kind of, it's a kind of Gurukul system. We all talk about Gurukul system and making ha-ha, ho-ha about it today.
Yeah.
But without telling so, I have gone through that.
Yeah.
This is what, how to serve a person, how to know all the domestic activities like cleaning the house, cooking for the house, looking after others, sharing the responsibilities, all that have happened. No? And we have kind of, today you are cleaning the floor, tomorrow you will clean the floor. Like that, we have divided ourselves, all the little kids. So that today you can call it as a management. That is management. We've been doing it from our childhood. So this is what he will just, because there is no other way. He doesn't have any books or something. We also don't have books. We can't afford. All that I used to go with my half pant. I never had any. Upper part is all open, naked. Imagine me, and take one gunny sack, because I have to sit now. I can't sit on the floor. So on the gunny sack, I will spread it, one gunny sack and one slate and slate pencil for writing. People who can't afford even the slate used to write on the sand itself, then erase it and sand itself. What is wrong? That's it. That is how the school was. And I think in retrospect, that's very beautiful school. Yeah, there's very little texting. Today many people talk about against text. Word has ruined your creativity and all that. Probably some creativity left in me because of this kind of crazy way of this school. He used to tell us about the economy, no? How is the economy taught? He will take out from his pocket 2 anna coin or 4 anna. In those days, annas and rupees, no? Silver rupees. So he will show, see, this is rupee, this is 2 anna, and those many annas will make 1 rupee and all that, and he will show it and we will pass it on to everyone. That's what practically. There is no photo, there is no picture, nothing, but actual one we will see. If he has to tell about vegetables, we will bring from home, no? One brinjal or one mango. He will say, this is mango. You see the color. So actually everything is done not through pictures but a real thing. What better education than that? Today you see a photograph and you will see MANGO, mango, all that. Whereas here he said, go pick up, if it is a mango season, go to the nearest garden, you pick up a mango from any, if he tells us to pick up 1 mango, we will pick up 10. Because we will always be, teacher told us to bring us. It's our education. Then he will tell us how to count and all that. So this is a big fun. I had a great fun in my primary school, where I have learned nothing from your point of view, but everything from my point of view. And that is probably my initiation into design, and although at that time nobody heard of what design is.
True.
So the primary school played an important role, and also I learned so many other things like people don't realize. I have to bow to him, no? His feet are, I told you, leprosy fellow. All these are stumps only. He doesn't have fingers. First time when I saw it, I was horrified. My goodness, they're all patches in his. So, but my mother told me, he is your guru, you have to respect him, you have to touch his feet. And they were so ugly. But then I learned how to overcome this. your uh, your negativeness. You don't look at anybody as a negative. He is giving me something in his own way. And if he is afflicted with leprosy, it is not his fault. And some time back, now it is cured. I said, if I get leprosy, my mother said, no, you won't get it. You better come out of this hatred and this kind of disgusting and all that. She said, you have to put it aside. That's it. Yeah. So these are the things which I have learned in my primary schooling. There are other things like there is untouchability.
Yeah.
Like everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm talking about what, 1945 and that area, no? Even today there is untouchability.
Yeah.
See,
today it's unspoken. Then it was rampant and that was the rule or very accepted.
Unfortunately,
right?
This country hasn't progressed, in my opinion. In fact, the progress was much better at that time because one day I called, one untouchable lady used to come every day to remove from our house. We used to have cows and buffaloes and all that. So there is a cow dung, buffalo dung and all that. She will collect them and all that and make it into a fertilizer. She will take it to our Kallam. Kallam, where the Goshala is there. So people used to, because she is untouchable, she is dark and she is kind of, she always used to do this menial jobs. Everybody used to look down upon her. One day I called, hey, because there is something lying there. So my mother heard it. She called me and gave me a one slap. Why? She is doing some work for you and she is elder to you. If anybody elder to you, to respect or not? I said, but she is, everybody is. No, everybody is different. She is taking your unclean things, therefore our yard remains clean. So she is doing a marvelous work. So she is to be respected or not. So I apologized and said, what should I call her then? Call her auntie. Yeah, because she is elder to me, so she is your elder auntie. Then I learned, but then why should I not touch her? She said, that is a social thing, that's okay. If you can even touch her, then nothing, I will sprinkle some this Paspanillu, that is the turmeric water, and that's it. That's it. So it is so simple. Why are we making such a big fuss about this untouchability? It's not untouchability which is wrong. The wrong thing is disrespect.
Yeah.
Even in our own house, you will touch your mother, but if you respect your mother, that is kind of worse than untouchability, isn't it? Yeah, this is the how. When I used to tease my mother because she said, you should not touch these people, X, Y, Z. So I go to see a film, and a 4 class you to sit shoulder to shoulder, yeah, in a film. Cheapest class we can, that is floor. On the floor you sit and there is all sand. After coming back, I will tell my mother. My mother will say, don't enter inside. Why? Because you must have touched some untouchables. You don't even know they're untouchables or not. So we assume that there are some untouchables. You touched them, so I have to clean you. How do you clean? She will go get some water, mix some turmeric in it and sprinkle on me. Now you come. That's it. It's so simple. I thought untouchability is so simple. Today, I am surprised in a where humankind has gone, from where to where. Today we are so bad. We kill people because they are untouchables. Because one untouchable and other caste people fall in love. And then the so-called honor killings, it's brutal, barbaric, really. So where have we progressed or digressed? My mother's time, 1945, is far better, I feel. And so that is how these values have gone to me. There is no value education. But at home, there is a education which my mother, that is also widow. She is a widow. She has to face the social ostracization and all that. She is young widow with 3 children. Yeah. So through her I got so many things how to deal with the social issues like this. There are domestic issues like when my father died, I was very sad, so my mother called me. I was sad for her. And when my father died, my sister was just born. So another social kind of stigma. Everybody, all this group of ladies and others used to tell, this girl is born. That very same day when my sister was born, my father died. They linked it and said, because this girl is born, he died. I say, how unfair it is. This girl is just even don't know, she has no control on her birth, and she is just born. So I see anybody who says like that, I feel like killing them, like that. And then my mother was alone in a joint family. If you are a widow, then you would look down upon. So that day I said, I will have to, now I am the elder now. So I always read the stories of King Rama and all these things. So elder person has the responsibility to take care of the family.
Yeah.
So I said, now I have to take care of my widow mother when I grow up. So at that young age already these things have been, my mother didn't tell me you to take care of me. But I decided myself I had to take care of my poor sister, my brother, younger brother, and my mother. So you see, from that onwards, I said, now I can look after all these three guys only if I look after myself.
Yeah.
Only if I am fit, I can. So I said, I have to stand on my own, and then I have to constantly see that these three people who are dependent on me are taken care. So as an elder brother, it's a God-given responsibility to you to look after them. That's it.
True.
Yeah. Even today I maintain that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying is, this value system, no matter whether you study design or whether you study engineering or something, I feel it's always missing. We don't think that is important at all. Yeah, which is very, very strange. Values are more important than anything else. The skill will come later. If you are a bad designer, I don't mind. But you are a bad person, I do.